Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is a Tuesday here inside the SWBC podcast studio. It is Niners week, and this is Mick Shots. And we've got a six-time Pro Bowler sitting in once again for the vacationing Everson Walls. Nate Newton joins the show. Yes, Nate in Frisco is here.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Nate.
Hey, this ain't my show. This is Mick Shots, and he got like 8 legal pads and
got shots galore.
Yes, he does. So hey, we waiting on you, Mick.
That's right, Mickey. Okay, let us have it. Did y'all watch the football last night?
Oh, you know what? See, don't do that to me, because I also watch other shows. And it was 2 games last night. Let's not talk about the Henry game. All right, I don't want to talk about
That's the one we could watch.
You had to work to find the other game.
Yes, you did. It's called ESPN Plus.
That's right. I've got it. And Mickey apparently doesn't have a subscription.
I don't.
Yeah.
You do not?
I do not.
How do you watch Missouri football?
I don't want to pay for it. They're on national
Mick.
TV.
Mick.
You win.
Mick.
Yes.
You're a little bit older than both us. You have money saved. You are very frugal. You are sports.
That's why
That's why he's not on it, is because he's older than us. He hadn't figured out how to access it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Are we not all sports guys? I mean, we like the 4 major sports, right? So we should always have access to at least the 4 major sports.
You watch games on your phone?
No, I don't watch games on
You
my
watch
phone.
games on your phone?
Yes, I do.
Unless I have no
I love it. Phone and the iPad.
Oh, my God. I got both of them hooked up.
That's right. So I got my ESPN app. I even got my high school app. I can watch Friday night. I can watch high school games on.
I got my laptop to do that stuff. I don't need my phone. But I got to pay.
You take your laptop in your car with you?
Hold on.
When you go to your when you go to a youth baseball game like I have to go to, that I get to go to, my grandkids, and I'm sitting there watching college football as I'm watching a game.
I use my dish anyway.
I have a question when you get through. Go ahead on. I want to cut you off. Go ahead on.
I couldn't do that without ESPN
Pay an
Plus.
extra $5.
You say you have a laptop. You say you have a laptop.
And I got a phone.
And you got a phone.
Right.
But you got like 8,000 sheets of paper.
Well, then it takes time to look it up. I've already got it written out.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just questioning.
ESPN
I'm with you. That's why I've got a big green notebook, and I've got another notebook
But you still
here.
got your pad.
That's right, yeah. Because if I write it down, I commit it to memory.
Yes. He writes it down and still don't commit it to memory. He writes it down and searches for it. Right here, Jerry said.
He writes it down. He can't remember where he wrote it down.
No. I can't read my own writing.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty simple.
You something else, Mick. You are something else. I did watch that game. And,
you watched the
I
Arizona?
watched the first one, and I had the second one going, but those 2 teams don't interest me. Teams where we thought we should have had a player, not me. We thought as fans we should have had a player. I like to see dominant teams, teams with a chance to be dominant play. And I thought that was a good game last night. And even though Baker couldn't.
He started off hot.
Yes.
Then he started forcing stuff.
Yes.
He lost his receiver, too.
Yes.
And then he lost his other receiver.
He lost the other receiver for the season.
Wow.
The Ravens' defense ain't as good as it used to be, but they still will come up with a big hit here and a big hit there. You know.
And now Todd Bowles is under fire.
Yeah, I knew
Shouldn't be.
I know.
Shouldn't be. Just like my man over here shouldn't be.
Why was he in the game? They're starting that. You knew it was going to happen, right?
Yep, knew immediately.
It was predictable.
There it goes.
It's the book of obvious questions.
You know what, man? I told my wife, and it shouldn't be this simple or this mean, but I say thank God these head coaches at least get $5 to $6 million, so in 2 years they can say at least I made $10 million, because any little thing can get you fired. And I would not hire a coach unless I was guaranteed for him 4 years. I just wouldn't do it. If I can't look at this coach and go through his ups and downs and give him at least 4 years, I wouldn't even hire him.
Well, this had nothing to do with winning and losing. It was because the player got hurt with a minute to go in the game.
But
they're a touchdown away from an onside kick to try to throw.
I understand that. He's been there 4 years. He's kind of under fire. But has he not shown you in 4 years, if he has a lot of injuries, does he not deserve another year?
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Right. Super Bowl.
Yes. And so that's just my belief.
Won the division 2 years in a row.
So, Baker just I've always rooted for Baker. But these few little moves he makes sometimes, be like, come on, Baker. Wow, but I do like most of the quarterbacks in the league, so because it's hard to play that position. It's got to be a massive strain.
And then you look at Derrick Henry, and he the first 3 quarters of that game, I remember looking it up, and he had like 5 carries for 25 yards, something like that.
Yes.
And then fourth quarter, he snaps off an 81-yarder, and he winds up with 169 yards rushing on 15 carries and a 13-yard touchdown catch. And which brings us to Jerry Jones on the radio this morning.
I knew you was going to swing the long ball.
Jerry Jones on the radio this morning, and he didn't. The host did not even ask him the question about Derrick Henry. He beat him to the punch, and he asked himself the question about Derrick Henry. And what do you think of his answer?
I thought I could have answered it for him. Number one, he said it didn't fit into our system because we don't run the ball that many times.
It's almost like he listened to Mick Shots yesterday.
Yeah. And number two, that obviously didn't fit into their financial system for salary cap reasons. But again, but you know what? He cracks one of those runs seemingly every game, right? One big run.
Already this year he's got an 87-yarder and an 81-yarder.
Yeah, and it it's like, oh, look at those stats. But if you look at the blocking, there was no one in his way, was there? It's not like he ran somebody over. He turned the corner, and it was like he was coming down a 100-yard dash.
That's what hurts you, and that is the uniqueness of him that I've always admired. I remember me and you used to do this show together when we was debating between Zeke and Henry. And then I, you talked me right into Zeke, and I've never regretted it. I never looked back. But I tell you, that is what he does. He did it at Bama. He did it with the Titans. Mm-hmm. He bangs, and you forget that he's a long distance runner. And all of a sudden he'll jump outside, and you just think as a DB, I'm going to get him. But each step you take, you see you're getting further and further behind. And he's done it his whole career, and he trains that way. So I'm not shocked.
So that State Farm commercial's not
No, that's not a joke. He's moving houses, bro. The amazing thing
Did you give up fried foods when you were playing?
I'll tell you what I did. I stopped drinking on Thursdays. I'm serious. I told y'all the story before. I went to Randy White because I felt my games. I was like, man, my game ain't. I don't feel good on Sundays when I'm going into games, and I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing. And Randy said, stop drinking on Thursdays. He said, you
can drink every other day of the week, but just not on Thursday.
On Thursdays, Fridays, because I was a drinker, man.
Yeah.
I liked the beer. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Nate, he said, your life will change if you stop drinking on Thursdays. So I stopped Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. I did it for like 6, 7, 8 years straight. Mm-hmm. I just felt good, man. I mean, you got to do things, you got to make some sacrifices. I mean, if I can throw away a few light beers for a couple of days, the rest of the league can, so they can be like this big horse we seen running out the other night. I just
that's funny.
It was
because at the Super Bowl, it would have been 91.
Yes.
And we ran into Jerry Granville. Mm-hmm.
Jerry Glanville.
Glanville,
the coach.
yeah.
Okay.
After the Super Bowl, and my friend that I was with from Mississippi, went to Southern Mississippi, was a big Brett Favre fan, right? And he, after his rookie year, he didn't play much, and he asked Glanville, he said, do you think Brett Favre can make it in this league? And he said, yeah, if he figures out by Wednesday to quit all that corn squeezing drinking, that he could probably make it in this league. Well, it wasn't but 2 or 3 weeks later, he got traded to Green Bay.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
Yes.
But he said the same thing as that.
Yeah, you just got to, sometimes you got to tweak your life if you wanted to maintain at a high level. And but Henry been doing this all his life, man, and now he's the nutrition part is kicked in. And it
throwing tires around.
And it does not hurt. This is what I got from Mr. Jones saying what he said was, at this point in time, we do not have the offensive line or the continuity.
That's right.
Without saying it.
Yes, and we don't run the ball enough to give Henry, because I'm serious. They beat everybody else up early in the game with the other guy. And with Lamar, and then they brought in Henry early in the second half.
That's right.
And that team was wore down a little bit, and he just took advantage of it.
Well, and think about the Lamar Jackson factor.
Yes.
You got to worry about that.
Yes.
And that can beat you if you don't, and then that opens things up for everybody else.
The thing that we have to, as fans, you can think what you want. You pay your money, you cheer, whatever. But we don't have the personnel that at this time that the Ravens have. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, and I know it's a Debbie Downer, but until these players get a little bit better as young guys, until we kind of replace some of our older guys who are not what they used to be, it's going to be a struggle. I'm not saying we can't win games, but it's going to be a struggle. You need players. You can holler the coaches all you want. These coaches been recycled through this league, but to a man, they'll tell you, if we got players, we're better coaches. So we just got to play better as a team.
And the exact quote from Jerry on Derrick Henry as it relates to what you're talking about with the offensive line, in my mind, we're not playing very good football right now at all, and it's beyond whether or not we have Derrick Henry. I don't know if he'd be having a career year in our situation.
Yeah, it's probably a pretty good point.
That's right.
It's the truth.
With
it is.
The offensive line blocking.
It's the truth.
And he worded it well without throwing his offensive line under the bus.
Yes.
So in a week's time, can you change blocking schemes? Can you change what your runs are? You can add a few. You can add a few things. You can add a tweak here, a tweak there, but your basic running scheme stays the same. I hear everybody saying that change this and change that and change this. And I'm sorry, even to the smart guys who's smarter than me, you ain't went through all of OTAs and all of training camp to wait to week 6 or week 7 of a season and say, hey, fellas, let's change everything. Right.
You can't. You can tweak some things. You can do a few things different. But the players have to play better. The players have to play better. You can't tell me that from last year to this point, except the offensive line, that our receivers and quarterbacks, we don't have Tony Pollard. Is things done changed that much? No, it hasn't. Guys just got to do their jobs. The focus is going to fall on Coach McCarthy. The focus is going to fall on Zim because of the personnel that you have or don't have. It's going to fall on them. I mean, before the year is over with, depending on how this thing goes, depending on how many games they can squeak out, it's not going to be beautiful. And I try to tell everybody at the beginning of the year, and they 3-3. They're overachieving. Not just mine. I mean, yes, you ain't going to beat the Ravens. You can bring the Ravens in here tomorrow. You ain't going to beat them. You can bring the Ravens in here week 17. You ain't going to beat them. The Whatchamacallit had the best game of their life, the New Orleans Saints. We are finding out, even though their quarterback hurt, even though they've lost one of their key receivers, they had the best game of their life versus the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? So
no, it's because they played them at home.
Yeah.
They can't win at home.
Well, man, I'm not gonna go. My thing is, let fans be fans. We supposed to have a better perspective, a more calmer perspective. Now, some fans know what's going on, but like I say, when you invest, like a fan invests, your money, your time, your resources, they're gonna have a different opinion. But we over here, who gets the money from the Cowboys, and we lucky we have an owner that allows us to say pretty much what we want to say, as long as it's not abusive. Here we sit.
So I thought Micah Parsons dealt with it really well when he was asked about all the external stuff and everybody want to get this guy or that guy. And I'm paraphrasing. Mm-hmm. He said, what can help us other than the people in this room? Meaning you can't go get this guy or that guy or add this or change that. Right. It's like we got to play better. We got to step up and do the job. We can't just say, okay, well, we're missing this guy or we got to get that guy. And I thought it was... he said there's nothing that is going to save us unless it's ourselves. And I'm paraphrasing there. He said we got to get healthy and we got to get everyone playing good football. And I think that's, as from a practical standpoint, that's where you're at when you're, this is the 7th, 8th week of the season for you. All of a sudden, you don't remake yourself, right?
No, you can't. You can't. I mean...
And I heard a question about, well, if this goes sideways, are you going to start selling off? It's not baseball, right? These contracts count.
And Jerry answered that question today.
Yeah.
It's like he made the commitment to the future when he signed back to the contract.
How many teams last year made the playoffs at 9-8, by the way?
I don't think none did it.
Well, Green Bay did.
Yeah, one. I mean,
and there was another one that just missed out at 9-8.
Well, the thing is, you look at the Saints. They was right. It was a 3-way tie. And
the Saints,
yeah. So the bottom line is this, and I know we ain't thinking about off season, but every year, every team, all 32. Lose at least 1/3 of their team by free agency, by a 1-year contract, however it go, restricted free agency. You don't want to sign them back. You lose it. So coaches already and scouts are already banging their heads against the wall. If you get 1 or 2 guys and pay the wrong 1 or 2 guys, it's going to put you in a tailspin. So we got a core group of guys. We just got to get them all on the same page, going in the same direction, and just hope they grow and hope the guys that are a little bit older don't deteriorate faster than what we need them for this year.
And how about get them on the field?
Yes.
Get them off the bed, the sick bed.
The thing about it is injuries. It ain't – we have figured out, and a lot of teams in the league have figured out, it ain't the first team. It's the third team. Mm-hmm. It's who do you have? Do my system elevate your game when you come in? Like I think number 18, I can't call his name right now, the kid from LSU.
Damone Clark.
I think he played well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think he played well. I think he did his job. But you still want Kendricks in there. You don't, we don't know if he's going to be ready.
It's like I'm watching on the NFL Network right now. They're talking about Tua coming back. And the Dolphins coming off last season, they were picked by a lot of people to do a lot more this year. And for last year, too. And the last 2 years, I refused to pick the Dolphins to do anything because of Tua's concussion history.
That's right.
And they did not have a second-team quarterback that can come in and win games for you last year or this year. And it's the same thing at other positions. You have to have backups who can come in and be functional for you to be able to win games. And anyway.
Not everybody has Arch Manning as their backup quarterback.
And he performed just like the starter did against Georgia, against the NFL team. All right, when we come back here on Mick Shots, Jerry responds to Troy Aikman's take, and apparently the same kind of thing is going on in the Bay Area. Mickey explains next.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Back to Mick Shots.
Stay connected with the Dallas Cowboys on your connected TV. Catch up on all Cowboys content like player interviews, weekly TV shows, podcasts, docuseries like Deep Blue, and much more. Download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV.
Okay, Jerry was asked about Troy Aikman's criticism of the Cowboys wide receivers route running, and Jerry said Troy knows football. He lives it. Troy's credible and should be. He's very professional. I think he's very fair. I'm pretty confident that we've got the ability to coach, and we got some receivers that take the coaching and can improve, and that's the big thing, improve.
He went on to talk about a lot of man coverage and guys running through contact.
Yep.
And I think, without Brandon Cooks out there, it's CeeDee Lamb and a bunch of young guys. Now, I know Tolbert's in his third year, but this is his first year they've relied on him. And after that, it's guys that was a special teams guy that they're trying to move into a receiver, Turpin. Jalen Brooks is in his second year. Flournoy's a rookie. Flournoy. And, he should get rid of the R. And you got a lot of young receivers that are being relied on. And sometimes it takes time. That's all I got to say.
I'm so glad they're playing.
Right? Because at some point it's going to pay off, correct?
Yeah. And I'm just glad that, I'm glad that every young guy is playing. That's getting an opportunity, because that just puts you, and I know this year has to be played out. We don't know what the final record is going to say. But whenever it's a chance for a young guy to play, I'm for that, because I think you got to control how things go as an organization. And what I mean by that is you cannot play your young guys. And then a lot of people say the window is closing. You cannot play your young guys and let this window close, and now all of a sudden you 3-4 years trying to get back to 12-5 or even to the playoffs, basically.
Like hanging on with.
Yeah, I rather kind of control that narrative, and I know we're in the middle of a season talking doom and gloom, and that's not right. I mean, we should be pumping the fans up, getting them excited, but the reality is it is what it is. I mean, thanks to Parcells, it is what it is.
You are who you are.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right, so what's going on in San Francisco?
In San Francisco, after losing to the Chiefs, Jerry Rice, age 62, he has radio segments there.
What does his age have to do with it?
I just wanted to say he was a former player.
You wanted to say how young he was?
Yeah, okay. That's right. And he went off on his radio segment after the loss to the Chiefs, basically said, if that was us losing like that, we would have been swinging at each other. He didn't have anything constructive to say except that they should be mad and furious, and he never pointed out the fact that, guess what? They got some injury problems, and they're compounding. I didn't realize this, but before the game even started, and we knew Christian McCaffrey had been out since week 2 with Achilles tendonitis, calf injury, and he's probably not ready to come back this week either. There is a bye next week, and they're looking at that. But they had lost a linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, with a torn Achilles.
At the Super Bowl, coming off the bench.
Defensive tackle Javon Hargrave has torn triceps, and safety Talanoa Hufanga had torn wrist injury, torn ligaments in his wrist. So those guys were out.
And McCaffrey's been out all year.
Right. They finally put him on IR, I think it was week 2.
That's when he went to Germany to get some treatment there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Their kicker, Jake Moody, has been missing with an injury. And then they go into the game, and they end up losing Ayuk, their basically top receiver. Jawan Jennings, who had the most catches for him, has been out with a hip. He missed the Chiefs game, and he's probably no more than questionable for this game. And then Deebo Samuel goes out, 4 snaps into the game, and we find out yesterday he's in the hospital with pneumonia.
Fluid on his lungs.
Yeah. And they're not sure how quickly can you get over that in play. So there's a chance they could be without their top 3 receivers, their leading running back. And I know Mason is running well for them, but McCaffrey adds different things to them in the passing game. So
Kittle's dealing with an injury too.
And Kittle is day-to-day with a sprained foot, by the way. So they're looking at, and we talked about it yesterday, Ricky Pearsall's back playing, Jacob Cowing, Ronnie Bell, and their other receiver, Chris Conley's day-to-day with an ankle. So they've got some injuries that they've got to be able to overcome, no different than what the Cowboys are facing defensively with their top 4 defensive ends out, and then they miss Kendricks in the game, no Deron Bland, no Kalen Carson. Injuries matter. And it goes back to what Nate was saying. Your second and third team guys better be able to play. Well, when you're spending all your money to keep your stars, it's hard to keep depth on the team unless you're developing young guys to be able to play. So they're in the kind of same situation. Oh, by the way, I ran into Sam Williams yesterday, torn Achilles in training camp. It was funny. I saw this guy walk in the locker room, and I don't think I've seen him since training camp, right? And I was like, that guy looks familiar. Who is that, right? Just like that. And it's like, oh, it's Sam Williams. So I saw him walking around. I said, well, how you doing? And he goes, yeah, I'm moving. I'm finally off my crutches. He had the surgery to repair his torn ACL. I think it was an MCL, too. Told me that was the first injury he had ever had in his football career, and that he wasn't sure how to deal with it. And he said one of the positives out of it, he said, I got to spend time, I believe he's got a son.
Right.
And he got to spend time with his son and get to know him and everything because he was at home. And I said, so what are you able to do? And he goes, well, walking's pretty good. He said, I haven't really run yet. He said, but, I'm going to start pretty soon on the resistant cords. And that he told me, and I said, I bet you can't wait to get back. And he said, you put this in your notes right now, because I wasn't taking notes. He said, next year is revenge year. I'm getting back at everybody. So anyway, quick update on Sam Williams. But that really hurt them on that defensive front. You lose him, you lose DeMarcus Lawrence, you lose Micah Parsons, and then the guy that you were grooming, one of your young guys, Marshawn Nealon, goes out and is on IR probably till around Thanksgiving.
And you'd already lost Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler in free agency.
Who, by the way, returned
a pick six.
Interception for a touchdown, first time in his career.
Moves in the car, me and the wife. She said, I know that name. Yeah. Where do we remember him from? I said, just leave it alone.
He was only getting about 12 snaps a game here.
Yeah.
So from an injury standpoint, Micah has been working on the resistance cords. As he said, I've got to show that I've got acceleration. And he goes, and the coaches and the trainers want to make sure if I come back, I'm at my best. And he said, so it's still up in the air. We'll see where that one goes. I think Deron Bland is more realistic to be back. He worked out and was running really well last week before the Detroit game, I guess 2 weeks ago. And he woke up on Friday and his foot was sore. It was his first practice since the surgery. So,
and that's why Jerry basically this morning said it's going to be a game time decision
right.
on him and Parsons.
They got to practice.
Yeah, and then see how they are the next
by
day.
Saturday.
And then see how they are on Sunday.
Exactly.
And Kendricks
is running. So I think they're somewhat.
It's a shoulder for him, right?
It was a shoulder. There was two things I think were going on.
He's a middle linebacker.
Yeah,
There's several
and
things
he needs
going
them
on.
shoulders, right? So it looks like he has a chance also. So yeah, I mean, you got to rely on young guys to come and step up, and there's going to be growing pains until these guys all get back on the field. No two ways about it.
The thing, ain't but one person, two people will pay for this. If the Cowboys have a real bad season, it's two people. It's Coach McCarthy and it's Coach Zim. So, but by the same token, if they can pull these guys together and make some things happen, two people will get rewarded. I mean, along with Michael Parsons, it'll be Coach Zim and it'll be Coach McCarthy. So
the future starts now for those guys.
That's right. You're 3-3. You're 0-0. So 3-3.
So many others on this roster. Yeah. All right, we continue with Big Shots in a moment.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
Witness the biggest boxing event in modern history at Netflix, and MVPs Paul versus Tyson and Taylor versus Serrano. Head to AT&T Stadium on Friday, November 15th, as the problem child Jake El Gallo Paul takes on the baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson. And don't miss Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano's long-awaited rematch for the undisputed super lightweight championship. Limited tickets are available now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
I have a question. When did modern history start?
Yesterday.
Said what was
yesterday.
What was that?
Witnessed the biggest boxing event in modern history.
Not taken away from that. It is a huge event.
Yes.
But I would like to know, when did modern history start? Because in sports, basically, we go back to World War II as, like, for records, it's the biggest thing that's happened, or the most touchdowns scored in a game since, or the NFL since the merger, 1970. Right. Okay, and on other sports, it's back to baseball. It's back to World War II or whatever. All right. So when did modern history start? All right, when did the Ali fights fall off the map, and they're now ancient history?
So probably, are we talking the turn of the century?
When did Sugar Ray and Hitman? That's no longer modern history, right?
No. Turn of the century?
Okay, so well, let's word it that way. It's the biggest of the century.
Yeah, or pre and post COVID.
Okay.
I don't get into that one. So I mean, in today's world, it's yesterday. I'm with Nick. It's modern history.
Modern history is this season.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm not going to argue.
We need some.
It gets to the point. Modern history is this week.
We also need some editing.
Whatever you did last week, okay, it's a good week. Now you got to do it again on Sunday.
Wow.
We have some editing here to do too.
Well, you're a journalist. You're just the man
in
to do
modern history at Netflix, and then it's and. I'll work on that.
You fix it.
Yeah.
If you'd show up in the studio
before
it's
time to go,
a little earlier,
because I'm reading about Jerry Rice getting on to the 49ers.
All right, now read what you can't read off your legal pad.
Okay, here's everybody keeps asking about this 5-game stretch. Right,
which got a lot easier. Got a lot easier Sunday because the Niners lost and the Falcons lost.
Right,
they got blown out at home by Seattle.
So 4 of the 5 teams they've got coming up have winning records. The irony of it is the only team with a losing record is San Francisco at 3-4. Atlanta's 4-3, Philly's 4-2, Houston's 5-2. And Washington's 5-2. Those 5 teams are combined 21-13. 3 of them are in second place, and 2 are in fourth place. So that's the road the Cowboys got to travel here over this month plus of the season.
Okay, so the first the 5 teams, how many are in first place?
2 of them, Houston and Washington.
And Atlanta is tied for first
Atlanta's
because Tampa Bay
of last night. That's right.
Because Tampa Bay lost last night.
So they're tied for first.
So there's 3 of the 5 are in first place.
Yeah.
And then the other teams are San Francisco and Philadelphia.
Right. And San Francisco, of all things, 3-4. Cowboys 3-3. They're third in the NFC East. Oh, the other thing, of those 5 teams, all 5 are ranked in the top 11 in total offense. 12th is the Dallas Cowboys, but that only pertains to yards, total yards.
Okay, so the Cowboys are sitting here at 3-3 right now, and the Eagles are 4-2, and the Commanders are 5-2. Commanders play the Bears at home. Think the Commanders are going to win? I mean, it depends on Jalen Daniels' health.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Although Marcus Mariota didn't have a bad game in his replacement.
So let's say the Commanders win. That makes them 6-2, and the Eagles are playing at Cincinnati.
Okay.
Even though the Bengals have a poor record.
3-4? 3-4.
Right. Okay. Let's say the Eagles win. That makes them 5-2.
Okay.
I'm getting at the importance of this San Francisco game.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there
from a perspective standpoint immediately.
At the end of the day on Sunday, if you don't win this game against San Francisco, you could be 2 games back of the Eagles and 2.5 games back of the Commanders. Basically at the halfway point of the season.
I know it's game by game and you have to win, but only thing counts is the East.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's the only thing. You gotta win your division. You got to win it. I mean,
and the fortunate thing is you've only played 1 division game so far.
Yes, you got that. Is going to be your saving grace.
Yeah.
For everybody's split cannot be what you thinking. Man, we can split. Win your division.
That's right.
That is how you.
Especially this year because of what's going on in that NFC North, where you got everybody with a winning record, and so that it looks like the wild cards are all coming out of that division.
Thank you. So you got to take care of home business. You got to take care of your backyard, and I don't care how you do it. Just got to take care of your backyard because that is where you're at.
And that is
where you're at.
You got 5 of those games left, and 4 of them with the 2 teams ahead of you.
Yes, you can fight any way you want to fight, but fight the easiest path. That is, we know we're going to play the Eagles twice. We're going to play the Giants one more time. We're going to play Washington twice. We know what we're facing. Take care of those guys.
And you know what? By time maybe Washington shows up, what are we talking? November? We're getting close to Thanksgiving.
What the Washington game is Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Sunday
before Thanksgiving. And you got the Giants on Thanksgiving.
You might be starting to get some of these guys off IR back by then.
Meaning like D-Law?
D-Law.
I wouldn't.
Chuma. I just say that.
You were talking about that? Isn't that a Mexican food? That's what I'm saying.
A chumalanga.
Yeah. The bottom line is, and please, fans, don't get mad at me, but play these young guys. Play them.
So the key this week.
Nealon
is getting, in your opinion, the key this week is getting Guyton back.
Unless, and this is not going to happen, unless you think T.J. Bass is a much better guard than he is tackle. If you think T.J. Bass is a much better guard, then let's ride it. Let's see where it takes us.
You're comparing, because of Tyler Smith's versatility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you feel like the coaches have to determine, are they a better offensive line with T.J. Bass at left guard or Tyler Guyton at left tackle?
That's right. So if you're going to do that, and now –
does Tyler Smith fit into any of that?
Yeah, he's the swing guy, whether he want to be or not.
But
the difference in Tyler Smith at tackle and Tyler Smith at guard.
It's always been a big difference in me.
But
he's
so
a mauler.
That plays to Guyton's favor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. One thing that people never knew about or don't want to respect about Tyler Smith is he's built for a guard. His mentality is built for a guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's a mauler. He likes to wrestle. He likes to get in there and muck it up. Guard fits him perfect. You know, getting out there at the tackle position where he has the feet and the hips to do it, but he wants to
engage.
Yeah, he wants to engage, and you're taking a little bit away from him.
And you would have two veterans sandwiching the rookie.
The rookie. I think the rookie's been holding on pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, thank God, man. I mean, and that, you know, people may, well, you ain't saying much, but Coach McCarthy said we're not where Detroit. We ain't nowhere near where Detroit at, but you're going to have to go through your growing pains. And they are playing these young guys, and I promise you, I'm enjoying it. You know, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm mad when we lose. When it looks so ugly, I'm mad. But I've been on that end of the stick.
Don't start swinging at guys.
Yeah, I've been 1-13, 3-15, 3-13. And I'm not saying these Cowboys are better than that. These Cowboys are better than that. But I've been in the dumps when nobody likes you. You can't go out and get a free beer or nothing, you know.
And Nate got away before 5 and 11 showed up.
That's when you were drinking on Thursdays, though.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe what really happened wasn't what Randy White told you. The team started playing better. And
yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
The bell just went off on you, Bill Jones.
That's right. I got to get going. All right. Appreciate it. Nate's back again tomorrow.
Oh,
right?
no, I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy.
Irish.
All right. Very good. We've appreciated the last couple of days.
I'm loving it, man.
All right. And the rest of us will talk at you again tomorrow at noon here on Mick Shots.
Go Cowboy Youth.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!